What's up, guys? James Miller Media here, coming at you with a new episode of Saving Seattle, where this time we try to save Seattle from salary implications. And we made a lot of changes, but before we get into that, let's go ahead and look at our top major awards this year for the 2031 season. So let's go all the way down, I believe, to here. Great Glove winners. I believe we only had two. Yeah, we had Jason Dominguez in Keetac Park. So Keetac Park already getting some hardware in his cabinet. Other winners were Jason Churio, Anthony Volpe, Dorian Soto, Cameron Cawley, Lucas Ramirez, Harry Ford, RIP, and Yolji Young. Really interesting that Cameron Cawley was able to get the gold glove there, considering Cole Young had been getting it in all the years to pass. Other league is Marco Paz, Patrick Bailey, Sal Stewart, Curly, Martha. That's an interesting name. He looks insane. Why isn't he playing shortstop? Oli De La Cruz, Christian Arroyo being the third baseman shortstop. Reese Chapman, PCA, and Fernando Tatis Jr. round out the rest. Reliever of the year goes to our own Nestor Cafe. He won out a vote of 24 to 6 first place votes. Again, just want to highlight over 67 innings, had a 2 ERA, and he looks to continue some of that form. Orion Kirkering, Alex Ortiz, and Griffin Jacks are the other notable players. Griffin Jacks looking to be a free agent now. $3 million. Okay, interesting. Yordi Vargas ends up getting it for the Colorado Rockies. Andreas Munoz gets second place. Carson Weisenhunt third. Daniel Colina fourth. Max Kuehl, Emmanuel Clase, and John Sanderson, which this dude looks like he's going to be insane. Wow. Platinum Stick Award winners. If you notice, there are absolutely zero Seattle Mariners, and that, I think, is the big reason of why we did not have any success this year. So Blake Mitchell got it. Absolutely incredible year for him. Gerard McCauley, who absolutely killed it. Wow. Kyle DeBarge, Jeremy Rodriguez, Gunnar Henderson, Wyatt Langford, Angel Ventura, Braylon Whitaker, and Victor Puentes. Wow. That is a batting profile. 2027 IAFA. NL is going to be Juan Soto, Jordan Whitaker, Slater DeBrune, Robert Callas, Ezekiel Tovar, Ellie De La Cruz, Jared Cerna, Dave Guerrero, and Patrick Bailey. Rookie of the Year goes to Jared McFadden with votes from Keetac Park and Damian DeMuro. Justin McFadden, just kind of did better in every aspect of the game. Barely better in every aspect of the game, but I think Keetac Park is going to be all right. Damian DeMuro getting one first place vote. I promise it wasn't from me. I don't vote for awards because I just vote my own players. But regardless, Landon Schaefer wins it in the NL with Chandler Hart, Jerome Newell, and Sergio Laredo also getting votes. Landon Schaefer having himself a great 32 home runs in 118 games is insane. If he keeps that up, which I know Coors effect is real, but 5.9 WAR is insane. Real quick, I want to look at Justin McFadden had 4.1 WAR. Keetac, I think, had half the WAR, 3.2 WAR. And Damian DeMuro had 3.9 WAR. So Damian DeMuro should have been given much more love than Justin McFadden, but whatever. We don't care about the Manager of the Year, but it's Alex Cora and Bobby Williams. Cy Young Award winner. First place is Rosa, which, yeah, he had a good year. Second place is Paul Skeens, free agent Paul Skeens. We're going to check in with him, and yeah, he still wants $50 million. We're not going to give it to him. Sorry, bud. Third place, Michael Sansoni. Fourth place, Christopher Sanchez. Fifth place, Damian DeMiro. Jesus Luzardo getting Cy Young votes from the bullpen is insane. Kyle Carr, Aldrin Batista, Eduardo Lopez, who looks like he's going to be insane. Wow. 20-year-old. And Noah Schultz. Edgar Colon, yep. Cole Schoenwetter, yep. So 2 of the top Cy Young Award winners were on the same team. That's insane. Also, Mason Montgomery, Kerry Almonte, Chandler Hart, Nick Lodolo, good night. Jacob Steinmetz and Garrett Crochet, still kicking. And number 1 AL player is Gerard McCauley. Almost unanimous. Jeremy Rodriguez getting the other vote. Looking at it, I don't see Julio Rodriguez got 4 down ballot votes, and that was and Paul Skeens got a couple down ballot votes. But overall, we did not have valuable players. You guys can look through the rest and see who all's there. Dave Guerrero wins in the NL. Absolutely crazy year. 287, 396, 606 slugging for a 1,003 OPS. Wow. 45 homers. Over, if all of his home runs were 2-run home runs, he hit 2 other RBIs. That's insane. Get that guy a bat in front of him, and you got yourself a lineup. Yeah, that's basically where we're at right now with stuff there. But let's go ahead and look at what our team looks like and how we're going to head forward. Now, if you notice that there is a lot of difference in this lineup, most notably, we got 2 gaps here. There's no Paul Skeens. There's a lot of other players. And who are these random people? These are our additions and subtractions and some interesting players, to say the least. So, number 1, Damian DeMiro, Nestor Cafe, Nick Green. We knew that was kind of our core that we were going to build around. You'll notice no Lance Williams. You'll notice no Spencer Strider, and some other notable players. Cole Bills, I already noticed. Your number needs to be a lot higher. We will get you 54 because you want the 4. So we'll get you 54. Jared Herzog, your number is way too low. We'll slot you in at number 46. Josh Bell, your number's too low. Yes, this is important. It is about the realism. We'll get you number 55. God of Baseball. Jeez. And Mike Norman. He's 25, so we'll get him number 65. Anyone else? Javier Ruiz. Yeah, Javier Ruiz absolutely deserves number 50. Let me see. Is 50 available? No. 60 is available, though, so we'll get you number 60. All right, so what happened? Well, lots of trades happened, lots of things happened, and we knew that we wanted to turn over this rotation to get into our prospects. So if you look right here, Javier Ruiz is a prospect. He did awesome last year in AAA, so hey, full year of AAA, that's enough time for me. Javier Ruiz is going to slot in as a number 4 guy in front of Spencer Schwellenbach. Spencer Schwellenbach we brought back on a $5 million deal. If he pitches like he did last year, he is going to be awesome for us. Mike Normand was a guy that we ended up trading Detroit for, and this is going to be a big trade. Let's go ahead and look at it. So we traded pretty much everyone who was on our trading block for him because he is awesome. So we traded Zhao for him. We traded John Ramirez for him, which we didn't think was going to be anything. Ethan Holiday because not really sold on him. Jason Dominguez as well because he just hasn't produced. And then Drew Summers is the only guy I'm really upset about getting rid of. So all of that to say, he is going to be shut down for this entire year. He is a guy who is not going to play at all for us this next year. But this peripheral, even if this is all he is, as a ground ball pitcher who can hold runners, has good stamina, he's still kind of young. This is going to be a guy who we're going to immediately throw on the 60-day IL. We're not going to accrue any service time or 40-man time, I believe. Could be wrong. But he's a guy who's already proven it in AAA and just needs to come up to the majors and do a job. Cole Bills is kind of a quad A guy. He came up in a cup of coffee last year and did okay for us. Was more effective in Tacoma. I think he's going to be kind of a Jesus Luzardo style player. That's what I think. I think he's going to be a Jesus Luzardo out of the bullpen because he mostly has those two pitches. If this changeup develops, also happy belated, Cole Bills. If this changeup develops, he could be a starter. Great personality class, but yeah, I think he's more or less going to slot into that long relief role. Alton Davis was a guy who we picked up in another trade. So let's go ahead and look at what this trade was. It was the Spencer Strider trade. We traded just for Alton Davis. We shed the Devin Williams salary, the Andre Lipkis salary, and Spencer Strider salary. Now, I wanted to keep Spencer Strider, but he's wrecked. He's making a lot of money, and he's not a true starting pitcher anymore. On top of that, Andre Lipkis is making $6 million this year, and I thought he was a big part of the problem. He was terrible for us in his cup of coffee with us. So I thought Alton Davis also could potentially be a swingman starting pitcher for us. Looking at his pitching stats last year, if we look at his splits, as a starter is where he did all of his work, but I think as a reliever, he could be very valuable as well. So he's probably going to slot into a long relief role as well. And then Jared Herzog, he's going to probably be a starting pitcher for us. He already looks like he potentially has the pitching to do. His stamina is not quite there yet. I think we're going to go ahead and start him down in AAA just to get a couple more picks or a couple more starts with him. But if the season started right now, he'd be long relief. Looking at it as well, we called up Josh Bell. Josh Bell is going to finally start with us. We're just going to make the call up. He had 14 saves in AAA in 20 games, 21 innings pitched. Did a decent enough job as a ground ball pitcher. He's going to have a lot more success with us in in Major League Baseball with the defense that we have behind him rather than AAA. So yeah, it looks like we're just missing that one pitcher, that one starting pitcher, because Mike Normand is not going to be there. We have a couple of guys potentially vying for that spot. We can sign a couple of minor league players or major league players to minor league contracts to come there. But we also have a couple of guys down here like a Cesar Montemayor, who I think is just going to be a bullpen guy just because that control's never going to develop. Or a Mark Markham, who is so close. He has the pitches to do it. In fact, he probably is going to be that last guy up to come up and do stuff. But we also have a couple more guys there. But let's not talk about that. Let's also talk about who we have in our lineups. So number one, biggest guy. We got this guy off of waivers. I think this is going to be our utility infielder this year. In potential with Elon Fernandez. We did say goodbye to Cal Riley, and depending on his price and how long he stays on the market, it'll be goodbye for good. I think we're going to give the starting lineup to John Garden. He's a draft pick. He's got good personality. He's a decent catcher, but he actually can bat, and he's proved it year over year. In the draft league, he did all right. Every single year, he's at a positive OPS plus, except last year in AAA, but no reason to keep him down now. If he doesn't do well, we'll have Rivas slot back into that role, and Murrieta, I think, is going to be up here to stay. Not 100% sure yet, but you're also looking at, hey, we're going to have Cameron Decker be our actual first baseman this year. Why is that? Well, number one, we signed him to a long-term-ish contract. Maxes out at $11.5 million. And again, the way that I look at my contracts is if they bring me more than 2 WAR for $16 million, I'm happy. Cameron Decker has been a 2-WAR player for all of his years. So if he stays at 2-WAR for the next 3 years of this contract at 7, 9, and 11 million, that's great. If he increases the WAR because of defense, even better. So we're looking at that 14.5 million. Hey, is he still a 2-WAR player? We'll opt into that. So, but why is he there? Well, Zach Neto is going to take over third base. He's going to learn third base this offseason, and he's going to be our third baseman on a $20 million 1-year prove-it deal. If he's great, we might look to extend him. Most likely not, because we do have a third baseman waiting in the wings. If he is a 1-WAR player, absolutely not. If he's a 3-WAR player, we're happy. I think at third base, in an extended period of time, he will be a 3-WAR player. Oh, who's that? It's Dylan Cruz. Why did we get Dylan Cruz? Well, because I think that this bat still has a lot to play. I don't think the outfield range is going to play, but I think the bat and the speed does play. And I think this 1 year is not going to be the norm. I think he's actually going to bounce all the way back to 2029 levels, just because these ratings are really good versus left-handers and right-handers. He's slightly above average from both sides of the plate versus both types of pitchers. So, what do I think is going to happen with him? I don't know, but he still has value. Why? Because we are paying him only, where is it? $6.2 million for the next 2 years, and then $5.6 million every year after that. Like, this to me is a no-brainer of, oh yeah, we're going to just hold $6 million for that type of a bat is awesome. Julio Rodriguez still doesn't want to talk about a contract. That's fine. I don't care. But that's pretty much, I think, all that I needed to talk about. Oh yeah, Matt Scott. This was a crazy trade. So this was a trade that was given to me by the other team. So Chad Ohl, number one, I can't pronounce his name. Number two, he's still just very far away and may not develop that pitch to be a true starting pitcher. Sure, he's already up in AAA. Good for him. He struggled in rookie ball last year. He's 19 years old. He's got a lot of ground to make up. Great personality, but I just don't know if this profile is fully going to develop. And if it does, the BABIP is just not there. So I was kind of like, you know what? Trade a non-proven commodity for a guy who has, in the last 3 years, performed at 2-WAR and at league average. So at worst, I know I'm getting a sub 4.5 ERA guy who can go out there and pitch 172 innings with this personality. Are we joking? OSA is a little bit worse on him, but I don't care. I like this personality. This to me was a no-brainer. And we get his RBers through age 31. Like this is a dream for me. Age 31, age 32. Like I just get to get this guy ARB to ARB. He's already developed. And all I had to do was give away a prospect who maybe makes it. And if he does, good on him. And another relief prospect who is a finesse pitcher, who I stay away from finesse pitchers like the plague because I genuinely do not like them. And so for me, that Matt Scott trade is an absolute deal. Looks like he's going to be making $8 million in 2035, and if he's effective, I'm not afraid of extending him. In fact, everyone that I see that gets into double digits of arbitration is a guy that's like, do I want to go ahead and offer a contract extension for, let's say, he's going to be 22, so a 9-year contract extension will take him to 32. He's going to be wanting $14.5 million. So this is how I do it. I'm going to actually increase this next year, drop that by a lot. Drop that by a lot. Drop that by 2, and then drop this one by 3, and then drop these by 2, and see if, hey, will 12 million do the work for you? And I'm buying 4 free agent years and all the ARB. Ask for the response. Boom. So we might get him for 9 years, $74 million. So I'm pretty happy with that. And less than $7 million AAV. That's great. So that's kind of how I do my arbitration stuff. Like Ian Lowry, I'm not gonna do anything because he's not quite ready yet. Rich Hernandez, you're supposed to be released. I'm just going to release you. No, I'm going to waive in DFA, though, for sure. That's so annoying. He keeps sneaking through the cracks. But looking at it, it's like, okay, we have a very lean roster. We're only at $101 million of spend right now. 89 next year, 115 the next, 110 the year after that. Where are we going to spend money? Well, we do have a lot of prospects coming up. We have this Antonio Venegas guy. We have Roberto Caballero. And Roberto Caballero is one that I want to, 15-year deal. I want to just say he wants $14 million already towards the end. That'll take him to 37. He will be with us for life. This is the type of, but let me just show you. His infield range, 65, 70, 70, 75. He is going to be an awesome shortstop regardless. But we're going to wait and see if he can play at the AAA level first. He's not getting called up this year at all. He's going to be a next year call up. Antonio, he might get the call up later this year because look at his bat. His bat is just insane. He already is going to hit right-handed bats going to kill left-handed guys. If his catching improves, he will be our catcher of the future. I do not want him as a first baseman. If he's a first baseman, he's not valuable to me. If he's a catcher, he is extremely valuable. In fact, let's set the position to a catcher, and immediately he's even better. So let's hope that his catching can improve. But we have guys like Daniel Rodriguez, which he's the number 16 overall guy. Outfield range, insane. Rodriguez is our Rodriguez replacement. So we're going to go from J-Rod to D-Rod. And I hope that this guy, I might even just force start him in AA just because he can do a job there. Let's start him in high A. Let's see if we can get him up to AAA by the end of the year. But then we have Chris Ingrassa, who can be an outfielder for us. We have Ivan Armento, who can be an outfielder for us. But we got money to spend this year. We got ourselves cheap this year. So let's go ahead and see. Well, not the right one. Let's go ahead and see all messages. And let's see if there's anyone here. I see a Cuba. I see a Chinese Taipei. I see Japan. Let's look. Nope. This guy, 29 years old. Not going to sign him. No. Okay, decent catcher. How much does he want? He wants a decent amount. This guy. We'll offer a minor league contract to you. What does he want? He wants $12 million over the next little bit. Okay, no, and no. What does he want? He wants a minor league option. He's 23. No, I can't do that. But now let's look and see who is here as a free agent. So looking at it, Mason Miller is here. He's going to miss all of this year. And he knows it. He's going to say, hey, give me $13 million this year, $13 million the next. That's a team option. That might be something worth looking at. Casey Schmidt, no. Jesus Luzardo, he wants $14 million over the next little bit. He's too old. I'm sorry. Andy Pajes is not going to come here. Brock Stewart looks good, but I'm not signing anyone that old. Brian Hudson, not signing anyone that old. Royce Lewis, how much is he wanting? He's wanting a lot of money. Not going to do it. Paul Skeens still wants almost $50 million. Not happening. Sorry, bud. Lawrence Butler, how much would he want? He wants $25 million for 8 years. Sorry, guys, it's not happening. But let's see who else is in this free agent class. This catcher is absolutely one of the best in the class. Carson Williams, who's wrecked, wants $23 million. Who's this guy? He wants $1.5 million. And he looks absolutely fantastic. Wants to be in the starting lineup. Last year was not good. Year before that was okay. He was a 3-WAR player. Why don't you want him back? Yeah, we will sign you. Boom, done. That's easy. Anyone else? Braden Montgomery is there. Chandler Simpson is here. If Chandler Simpson holds around and wants to be a bench piece, we will bring him in. Cal Riley. Wait. $7.5 million. If he is worth one war, you know what? We're going to sign him to a 4-year deal, so he'll be here for sure for the next 2 years. Because I'm fine with that. This is a royalty guy. $27 million, 4 years for Big Dumper. Bring him home. Anyone else that we're thinking about bringing in? Francisco Lindor's finally off of his contract. This would be a great guy to actually bring in as a shortstop. Just the pedigree of him alone, but he's just not the same player that he used to be. Joey Ortiz, our old shortstop, is here. He still can play shortstop at a very high level, but ultimately kind of fell off of a cliff. Interesting, but let's look at some pitchers. Let's see if we can get ourselves potentially another starting pitcher. Ray Feliz, free agent. What does he want? He wants a lot over the next 2 years. But, I mean, that's kind of the way of the market, you know? Mason Miller, no. I don't know why I have a note on Yiner de Jesus. Don't know why I have a note on him, but I have a note on him. Zach Wheeler wouldn't be bad. Jared Jones wants a lot of money, but he did really good last year. No, he didn't. Let's look. Yeah, I'm just going to keep playing around. I'll see if there's anything here. But we might end up actually doing a short reunion with Paul Skeens just because he is really good. But Zach Wheeler is looking very appetizing. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm going to check back in with you guys if anything major happens. But until then, I'll see you. Ourselves a steal here at $1.5 million. This is a guy, great loyalty, great work ethic, maybe not the best adaptability, but he's going to be kind of our fourth outfielder. But with these ratings, he's going to feast against righties, maybe not play against lefties, but I think him and Smith will be a platoon guy. So Carson looks great. The Angels have the first overall pick, so good for them. Braves right where they're supposed to be. Brewers third. Yeah, and Cal Riley looks like we are going to be bringing him back if we want to go ahead and look at our contract. We decided to extend him a 4-year deal, maxing out at $7 million, just so potentially he is a Mariner for life. That is the only reason. I just think that he should be potentially put on it. Also, we got ourselves a minor league second baseman who, if we train him up as a third baseman, he might actually be valuable to us. He did play for Cleveland, and he looked decent. So, yeah. On top of that, we are in the process of making a lot of trades and a lot of additions and subtractions and stuff like that. Pitching-wise, we're still in the same boat. We're potentially looking for one more starting pitcher, but I think we have enough to go off of just with the players that we do have. So probably going to run with these guys. I know we have 2 guys who are gone essentially. So might have to add another one. But who is this guy? You might say Jackson Churio? Yeah, he is on contract. We have a team opt-out for next year, so 2 years of guy who's batted 25% better than average every single year over the last couple of years, can play absolutely lights out left and right field. He will be most likely our right fielder. In fact, he will be our right fielder. Keatak Park will be our left fielder. And we're just going to slot him right there into the middle of our lineup. And look at the way this lineup has turned out. Dylan Cruz, we honestly might turn around and try and shop him right now just because we are able to pick up, what's his name? Carson Bench, who plays a phenomenal left field and a great right field. So our outfield is set. Jason Smith might even be shopped just because we don't need this guy. He's a 10th round pick, which makes me really want to keep him, but he might just be a luxury that we just don't need to afford because if we look at it right now by our depth chart, we're missing a third baseman. What happened to that third baseman? That's how we picked up Jackson Chourio. If we look at our history, they wanted Alberto Pena, who was not going to crack the roster and I don't think was going to be that prolific of a batter for us because he hasn't been able to avoid strikeouts and because he doesn't have the pop. We just did not need this bat. So I was just like, you know what? This is a guy who's not going to crack the roster this year. Rule 5 eligible, not going to crack the roster next year. Let's go ahead and get rid of him. And the only other guy that they wanted was Cuevas and Neto. So Neto's the kind of the big give up. We are losing out on a third baseman this year. And Cuevas was great. But again, if you have Chourio, who is without a shadow of a doubt an MVP contender, I'm going to make that trade 100 times out of 100. So this was definitely consolidating parts. But our top 5 of our lineup, if we look at it, this doesn't even include Carson Bench, who can also play first base, probably only going to play against right-handed bats. But I think that just moves Dylan Cruz out of the lineup. And he's a guy who we are going to potentially shop around right now because we have made it significantly affordable for people. And now we have Marcelo Meyer as well. And so we're just looking for a third baseman. And that's pretty much it. We have Rivas and Murrieta, who we're going to be in tandem for that catching position with John Garden, which I think John Garden is going to be the one to crack the roster potentially this year. Might have him start down in AAA again just to get a little bit more seasoning. Just because, last year he really, wasn't 100% up to snuff. But we are going to bring back, hopefully, Cal Riley here for this position just to mentor the team and be a Mariner for life. That's something that I definitely want to contend with. But yeah, I think Weah Aloy is going to be a guy to potentially come in for third base as well. Elon Fernandez is a guy right now who could potentially play third base on top of that. And then Max Acosta is a guy who we are going to train up at third base as well. So we are going to have the third base options if they aren't there. But yeah, that's kind of the big deals that we've made. We're still waiting on the free agent market. I don't want to go 100% in. Paul Skeens is still looking for 30-something million over the next couple of years. I'm not looking to get rid of that money. Royce Lewis is up in price as well. Not a guy who I want to go for. Carson Williams, definitely debated, but I just don't like his personality. And then Jesus Luzardo, yeah, he's wanting way too much money for how he's been playing as well. Brian Hudson, he looks great, but again, this is just too much money to tie up whenever I know in the next couple of years we're going to need to... Ooh, okay, so Mason Miller is a shout. We might go back and go get him. But we're looking at our free agents still, like Royce Lewis, this catcher guy as well, who no one is offering contracts for. Actually, no, people are offering him contracts. And Bryce Terang is a guy who I would love just a one-year deal at about $10 million to potentially come in and play third base for us, because I think he could do it. I think he could do it well. The bat may not be there, but the defense will. So we're just looking at that. Chandler Simpson, I would love to bring in as a depth outfielder if he sits there for a bit. He's still wanting 8 years, or 4 years or $8 million per year. Not going to do that for here. But he's a guy that if he lingers on the market, we're going to go after. Pitching wise, top of the market is the only place that we would play. And it would be for relievers. So this Ray Feliz guy, he's still wanting $4 million for an unproven guy. I'm just not willing to do. But whenever the rest of the guys are asking just $1 million, yeah, I just don't think that it's in the cards for us to play at the top of the lineups here. So we're just going to kind of hold pat. In fact, this is what we're going to do with our money. We're going to go to player development. We are going to max this out to as much as we can. So 40 million. Draft budget is already there, so that's good. Dev lab, we already are on track. And then something that I've noticed, always have your scouting maxed out at 27 million because we are getting some great scouts. We're going to need to add a bunch of players to our minor leagues, though, so that's something to keep an eye out. And, yeah, let's just go ahead and look and see what players we can shop around and see if we can make any deals during the winter meetings. And if anything happens, I'll be right back. Going to be a very unpopular trade. I already know it, but we're going to trade Jason Smith, who again at every level has just crushed the baseball. But with our most recent signing, I just don't see us needing to have a subpar defender with a above average bat. Octavio Rivas, who took over the starting job at the end, just isn't exactly as good of an offensive or defensive catcher as I would like. He's not going to profile anywhere else. So, yeah, I'm going to throw him in. And then Dylan Cruz, he's going to be valuable, but who are we getting in return? We're getting Cooper Pratt. He is the upside of Dylan Cruz. A little bit more contract, but $12 million is something that we can easily afford over the next 4 years. And he's going to give us solid third base. So if we look at his fielding stats, his zone rating at third base last year was positive. His efficiency was positive. His percentage was great. 8 errors is not terrible. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do it. Sure, my GM says not to do it, but this is a position of need. Even though these are 3 valuable players, I'm good with doing this. Especially because we already know that we're potentially going to be bringing back a third base or a catcher for us. So if we look at our lineups now, we know that we're going to have Cooper Pratt, who is the second most valuable player, come in there. Carson Bench. Ooh, I don't even know where he would play because he is a righty masher. Yeah, righty masher, decent outfield. Ketak Park also does well. So I think we're going to have, it might even just be Jackson Churio. No, Jackson Churio doesn't. And also, I haven't checked yet. He wants a contract, but that's not someone we are going to give a contract to. Yeah, so Carson Bench, I think, is going to end up being our left fielder over Ketak Park. Potentially, I don't know. But we get a lot of options where, hey, potentially Ketak Park's defense plays a little bit better. His offense plays a little bit better. Yeah, actually, Carson Bench is just going to come in and be that guy. Let's generate depth charts based off of that. Yeah, Park's apparently our second best center fielder, which that tells me, yeah, that's exactly where he needs to be in the outfield. And Bench can be our right-handed DH versus whenever we go versus left-handed guys, we bring in like a John Garden or someone else who can potentially hit a lot better. So just something to figure out. Not a lot of players ended up on the trade market, to be honest. I figured that there would be a lot more on the trading block. Mookie Betts is basically a no-go. He doesn't want to do any trade. Yordan Alvarez is someone who I don't want to bring back because at $45 million, not worth it. Yeah, this is just one where we're just going to sit on our hands, wait a little bit longer, see if anything comes out on the waiver wire or free agency, start talking with people. And it might take me an hour to get through these next 3 or 4 days, but the next time you'll see me is when A, something incredible happens, or B, we make another trade or signing or something. How about that? Octavio Rivas was immediately waived, and we decided to just go ahead and claim him. So, boom, we got him back, baby. I know that's a little bit cheesy, but I don't care. This game is so broken that I'm going to use every single chance that I can to get the players that I want back. So I'm just going to keep y'all here while I go to... whatchamacallit, Rule 5 draft, just to kind of show you how I'm going through stuff. But yeah, I'm not going to take that trade at all. And yeah, it's time for Rule 5 draft, basically. So hopefully we see some updates from anyone. Noah Davis. I don't want Noah Davis. I don't need Noah Davis. Another Milwaukee guy. I don't want any of these guys. You guys want Eduardo Santana and Diego Ramos? Okay, I don't care. But we are 2 days away from the Rule 5 draft, and we are at the Rule 5 draft. Let's go ahead and jump into the Rule 5 draft. And let's just see if there is anyone of note in the Rule 5 draft. I know we're going to have some players available. That's a Boston player. I want to say... I'm happy to see... Ooh, this is a guy who I would go after. Played at AAA last year. But I wouldn't actually go after him. Let's go ahead and jump until Seattle pick. Would this guy be worth getting? No, not wanting that profile. I do want to look at pitchers. I want to look at pitchers explicitly. Like an Alberto Salazar. Is this guy going to be good? Sure, he only played in the A-League, but he already looks like he could potentially play at the major league level. Is there a scouting director recommendation? Jose Feliz. Jose Feliz could be an option. Ground baller, especially with our defense. Let's look at that. So Jose Feliz is number 1 here. Emerson Hancock, which is one of our guys that we used to have as well. Cool. Ryan Gusto, no. Chase Petty, no. I don't want a fly ball pitcher. Jose Feliz actually makes a lot of sense. Last year, yeah, actually, I am going to draft him. Is there any other scouting director recommendation? Junior Marte. I'm not gonna go over any other pitchers. Is there any batters that I'd want? Travis Bazana, interesting. He's been bouncing around from team to team over the last little bit. Just hasn't been able to put it together. This Roman Beltran guy looks great. Just hasn't played above AA, so wouldn't put him up there yet. Jesus Rodriguez isn't a true center fielder. Oswaldo Cabrera is there. So scouting director still says, hey, I should go out and get a pitcher. I don't disagree, but I really don't want to look at that. Any batters? It says don't get any batters. Brendan Lawson is one of my guys. Jim Huffman looks good, but not a guy who I'd call up. Yeah, I think that this is... Ooh, this guy looks really good. Hold up. Played in AA the last 3 years. Yeah, I don't think we're going to make any other decisions. Let's look at some pitchers. How long is he hurt for? Not a lot. 7 weeks. Okay, this is going to sound cheesy, but if this guy was hurt for the entire year, and I mean like if he was gone for an entire full year, I would throw him and stash him and then let him work up next year. So I think we're going to be done. Yeah, we're just going to be done. We don't need anyone else. And let's see, did we lose anyone? It does not look like we lost anyone. And it looks like the Nationals and the Brewers and the Braves were the three people that were the most involved, going 4 and 5 rounds each, respectively. So Omar Mirando, yeah, he looks good. Sean Dennis, okay. Ryan Helsley was available? Yeah, I would have picked him up. I don't see anyone else. Jose Feliz is who we ended up getting. Yeah, I'm fine with this. And then we ended up, Brandon Marsh went, Edgar Salas went. No one else. All right. That was Rule 5 draft. I think the next thing that you're going to see is if there's any random... Ooh, we need to go to waivers now. Let's see. This guy's on waivers. Not a guy who I'd want to put up real quick. Ortiz, no. This is a guy who I would pick up for sure, but he's just not ever going to be good. Derek Desmond, extreme fly ball, no. Oscar Romero, no. This guy, is he out of option years? 2 option years left. I'm going to claim him. And hopefully we get him. Now is a time that we can look at just kind of like, hey, who's on the docket still? Who can we potentially go and get? Hopefully they start falling our way because we got a bunch of favor offers, so maybe we can end up with a couple of the players that we want. Cal Riley and Inks deal. Awesome. So Cal Riley is back. Place him on the active roster. Jesus Luzardo went to the Mets. Paul Skeens, not going to get him back. Yainer De Jesus. Boom. All right. And it looks like we have halfway through all of our development lab stuff. So let's look at the dev lab. Right now, it's looking like Damian DeMauro is going to improve control. Nick Green's going to increase pitch movement. Ian Lowry is getting close. Javier Ruiz is getting close. Mark Markham with the pitch movement will be nice. 2-strike approach. Okay, looks like all the hitters are going to struggle, but if we can generate bat speed with Lomo, that'd be huge. Okay, let's just continue on. And boom, we got Chris Colston on our team. We're going to just demote him to AAA. Oh, he asked a major league roster, so place him on the secondary. And we'll place him on the active roster, whatever. And now it's just at the point where we're going to run through the rest of the offseason quickly. We got IAFA period coming up here in a second. And yeah, we're pretty much almost there. And looking at it, here are the first ballot, or first year Hall of Famers. Mike Trout, no surprise, is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Only played till he was 34 in our league. Looks like the injuries just caught up to him. I hope this doesn't happen in real life. I hope he plays till he's 40 and just ages gracefully, stops trying to steal so many bases, and just says, hey, I'm going to hit doubles and I'm going to get on base. Overall, no one else on our team Nelson Cruz, who did play with us for quite a while, 2015 to 2018, and was awesome during those years. Holy crap. Yeah. Nelson Cruz, go off, brother. But that's not important. We are trying to find Hall of Famers of tomorrow with the international amateurs now. And let's go ahead and look a little bit at the class. That's something that I know a lot of you guys have been trying to look at. So, we have it on OSA. No wonder. Okay, so this is kind of our class setup that we have. Yes, we have a bunch of guys up at the top. And it looks like these are kind of the only 4 guys that I have highlighted. So, Scorpion, Kimihiro Yamada. Looks like he's going to be a great corner outfielder for us. Great bat. Japanese and Brazilian. Already has decent speed. Looks like he's going to be a good bat. Might be the guy who we go with. But this guy, oh my goodness, going to have a 4-pitch mix, potentially can get up to 95 miles an hour, already has good BABIP in place. Home runs against needs a lot of improvement, but this, I think, is going to be the backpack Ruben Ledesma. Looks to be the guy who I want to go after personally. I haven't seen many international amateur free agent pitchers look that good. And at the age of 16, nonetheless. Carlos Sandoval, Mr. Weed, looks like he's going to have unreal power, but leader loyalty, I don't care if those are low. Financial ambition being high, he's going to go for the full amount. Adaptability and baseball IQ, wow, awesome. But Jose Hernandez as well. This is a great shortstop, but his one flaw, he ain't going to hit water if he fell out of a boat. And yeah, this is just kind of the top of the class. Sorry if you heard that. I just kicked my desk. Other players look really good in this class as well. I'm just going to scroll down for a little bit so you guys can kind of see. This class wasn't perfect. I was able to knock a lot of players, and it ultimately did come down between 2 for me. So without further ado, let's just jump into it. I'm going to offer him a contract, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and offer him the full $4.75 million and hope to God no one else matches it. Just because I know this is exactly the type of pitcher that I want in my organization. I would also like this guy. Perfect loyalty, perfect work ethic, perfect financial ambition. If he had adaptability, it'd be another story, but I just have not seen this good of a pitching prospect. Already a 24 rated. I think he's going to be up as a teenager. And let's hope to God we can see him. Please, please, please let me see it. I want to see him signed. It should be here. Raise team budget? Okay. Paul Skeens is gone. He is now a New York Yankee. What is it? $42 million over the next 6 years. Fine. Supplemental first round pick. Ruben Ledesma, Mr. Backpack, is now a part of our international free agent signings, and he may go straight into the minor leagues. Like, I don't know, sinker, fastball, changeup, cutter. So, oh well. We got our guy. It's preseason. Let's go take one more look at free agent signings, and I'll be right back. So we have offered quite a few contracts, actually, most of them to pitching, just because, hey, if they don't stick, we got the depth. If they do stick, hey, cool. Framber Valdez is one that could potentially, like, hey, he's a ground baller. He's going to be effective. Sure, he kind of fell off of a cliff. For the Mets last year, they didn't have a good infield. So it's kind of like, you know what? Let's bring him back into this division behind our infield. He should be really good. Same thing with Camilo Doval, a ground ball pitcher who over the last couple of years has just been super effective. He was only wanting $2.25 million, so why not bring him back? Kyle Teal, and the rest of these guys are just all minor league top end depth. Easton Carmichael, old guy out of Seattle or out of Oklahoma for us. We traded him to Toronto, and he just never put it together at the major league level. We're going to bring him back as a minor league depth guy for us. On top of that, we did offer Mason Miller a contract. It is a 3-year deal of $30 million. The first year, he's getting half of the money just to, I think it's a way to, essentially, some people may say it's a waste of money, but it'll get us up to $130 million, and then the next 2 years we'll be saving money. So, hey, I don't care. It's just going to save us money to have a top-end, back-of-the-bullpen reliever. So, huge for us. And I want to apologize real quick. this is a long episode. It's not as easy as past episodes where it's like, oh, hey, I'm just trying to cruise through it to get back to where I was. We got a cheap team, and we can add some options. We can go out and could have gotten a couple of high-end guys, but we didn't need to. Like, this is a good team. We got Jackson Churio. We're going to have one of the best outfields to begin with. We have a serviceable, good, high-end defensive infield with Cole Young and what's his face? Where is he? Marcelo Meyer, if I could find him. Where is he? Did I trade him? No. Okay. Marcelo Meyer, who is a great defensive option as well. And he played 117 games, but he is also a guy that I'm worried about because of that Rex tag that I'm like, do I need to go and get an extra shortstop from somewhere? Is Roberto Caraballo going to be ready and there whenever he inevitably goes down? He's only got a couple hundred games of minor league seasons because just hasn't had enough time in. It's like 1 year of rookie ball, 1 year of A ball, second year of A ball. And then last year it was like, oh wait, he kind of put it together and started hitting at the AAA level, but he really hasn't hit a lot. So hopefully he comes back from this knee injury and is great for us. And then Antonio Venegas needs to also come back. This guy could potentially play shortstop, but he's not going to be great. So I'm thinking I need to go out and get myself a potential break glass in case of emergency shortstop on this team, because we're not in a position that if we have a guy go down, we're going to be screwed. So the guy who I'm looking at right now is, I believe, Jared Cerna. Where is he? Not Joey Ortiz. We're not going to bring back Joey Ortiz. He's a little bit further down. Let me just look for shortstops. Where is he? It's not Stott. It's not Arias. Starlin Caba. That's who I'm going to go get. Just because he's going to, sooner rather than later, take a minor league assignment. He's going to be probably one of the best defensive shortstops for us. He's still... Oh, crap. Let's just go ahead and give him a major league option at 1.5. Oh, he wants 3.4? Never mind. So, yeah, we're going to have to go look for another shortstop potentially. There's plenty of guys here, so I'll be able to find something. Dario Estrada's not going to cut it. Juan Baez isn't going to cut it. Like, I need a strong defensive shortstop. So, when that happens, I'll be back. Oh my goodness, we just signed everyone. Number one, we got Camilo Duvall. We got catcher Kyle Teal. Another depth center fielder and Brenton Doyle, who can just go out there and do a darn thing. Spencer Steer, Shane Murphy, Dax Fulton, we brought you back. Don't mess it up. Mason Miller is back. So let's look at this contract. It is $15 million. If he falls off of a cliff, hey, we'll pay you not to play for us. But he can come back and he can play. Yeah, awesome. And then this guy is this no, it's not. But he just looks like he's a good bat and could potentially be a guy that we can call up here in a little bit, you know? Easton Carmichael, Blake Gillespie, Gregory Barrios. Gregory Barrios is our backup shortstop because that's just good ratings. Luis Ravello is another backup shortstop because those are good ratings. So we have options in the minor leagues now if worst comes to worst. Camilo Duvall is up. Mason Miller is going to go in the secondary lineup, and he's up as well. But we got ourselves a squad now. We do have some staff vacancies. Where? Oh, we have a hitter. Okay. I have the filter automatically set to good relationships. I want someone who can teach good hitting. Good. Dustin Kelly, what do you want? You want $50K to be the Mariners coach? How about 40? Boom, that's how you save about 20%. And yeah, we got our international amateur. We got everyone who we needed. Awesome. Free agents are still out there. We can go back to default. We can just see a lot at the top end of the market, or not a lot at the top end of the market. If we were still in the, if we still wanted Colt Keith, we could go after him. Tyler Cerny doesn't want a lot, but he's not a guy who we really want to bring in. Ketel Marte, not a guy who we want to bring in either. So looking at, that was just shortstop. So looking at all batters, yeah, it's Justin Gonzalez who we're not going to bring in. Yeah, no one there. Pitchers wise, we got not a lot at the top end of the market either. One guy who I am keeping my eye on is Corbin Burns. If he ends up just saying, hey, I want a minor league contract, we're going to bring him in. If he wants a minor league for major league option at $2 million, we'll actually gladly bring him in. So let's just go ahead and do that. Because he's a ground ball pitcher and we have such a phenomenal infield. So that's exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing. Shall we resume negotiations? Nope. We're not going to go for Colt Keith. Colt Keith signed with Minnesota. He ended up signing for $3 million. Oh, that's actually a steal. Should have negotiated. Corbin Burns signed contract. Awesome. So Corbin Burns, Framber Valdez, Antonio. Oh, please just get good at catching. Please get good at catching. If you get good at catching, we're good. We're good. That's it. So our minor league AAA team is actually like ridiculously good now. Yeah, we're kind of in a position where we have an abundance of riches, and let's just go ahead. 30, 30, 32, 28, boom, 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 done. We're good. Daniel Rodriguez is no. Daniel Rodriguez is starting in A-ball this year, and I want to see if we can get him up above Double A. If we can get him above Double A this year, it'll be a very big success. But yeah, we're going to just go ahead and go towards spring training, see when this season's going to start, see our dev boosts if and when there are any. But man, we're in a position that we're going to take care of business this year. I think we have our cheapest team to date. Let's see. Ooh, I do not like that. He already had his stuff drop. Prano Shell dropped. And this could just be guys coming in out of shape. John Garden looks like he improved a little bit. Cal Riley is a 44 catcher. He's going to start for us to start. Marcelo Maher, no. Okay, gap rating dropped. Julio Rodriguez is a 51 center fielder. Might actually have to slot to right field now. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Yeah, he may be done in center. Jackson Churio might end up being... Oh, no. This isn't good. We regressed entirely as a team. So let's hope that it's just like, oh, we need to knock the rust off, get back out there, and boom, we'll be all right. Because if not, we're going to be in a position where we're going to have to make some tough decisions. Because Julio Rodriguez can't go anywhere. Some guys promoted. Most of them are unnotable. Spring training begins. Let's go ahead and pretty much call up the entirety of this roster. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and do the organization just because it's easier. Who is Kyle Teal, Juan Torres? Is there anyone who I don't want to have up there? Okay, you can come down. You're going up. And Esmil Valencia, you can come down. And you can go up. Pitching wise, 6-man rotation, strict order on occasion, highest rested. Yeah, this is kind of the guys who I expected to be in our rotation. Spencer Schwellenbach actually not in the rotation either. So minor league free agent signing. We're going to have Spencer Schwellenbach over Blake Gillespie real quick. Starting to realize that Spencer Schwellenbach might have been an overpay, but oh well. Nestor Cafe, Nick Green, middle relief. Beautiful. I do want him to be a stopper. We'll worry about that later. All right. Most important part of our episode. Outstanding. Current control improves by 10. Potential control improves by even a little bit more. This guy is going to be gross. Huge. Nick Green, pitch movement, successful. Ian Lowry, no improvement. Pitch movement for Javier Ruiz, successful. Great. So he's not going to give up as much home runs. That's all we needed. Awesome. No improvement. 2-strike approach. No, not for Jose Bonilla. No. Current eye drops by 5. Current power drops by 10? Jose, what happened? Keatok, no improvement. Daniel, no improvement. Okay. So now we have to do... Wow, that's the worst case scenario. I haven't seen a drop like that in a minute. And in fact, I don't think I've seen one. So Antonio, improve defensive catcher, you have to. Keatok Park, improve outfield defense. Cole Young, you're going to stay at second base because you're perfect exactly where you are. Jose Bonilla, I need you to improve infield defense. Also, time to take away your strategy. Don't want to force start you at any position. Who else? Bubba. Where is it? Strategy. Don't need you to force start at third base. Let me see. John Garden, need you to improve defense at catcher. Let me see who else. Think that's all that we had to have. Elias Perez, strategy. We're not force starting you anywhere. Who else? Anyone else on the high end? I don't think so. Carson, bench. No. Cooper Pratt, no. Julio Rodriguez, do we need to improve his defense in center field? He's fragile. I mean, he's going to start regressing. He's 31 years old. He needs to go to a corner outfield spot. Not too concerned about it. Bubba Calandra, great third baseman. Yeah, we're not going to worry about it. Now let's look at prospects because that's who we're going to go after. So Daniel Rodriguez, we're going to... work on base running fundamentals for you. Ivan Armento. We're going to improve your outfield defense. Chris Ingressa, stealing. And we have one more. I guess it's going to go to Van Ven, and it's going to be improve infield defense. Okay, so you guys will see me here at the very end, and we will go over exactly how our spring training went, and he'll be all right, and just see where we're at in terms of... Jeez, stop getting hurt, guys. We'll see where we're at in terms of who's here, who's not, what's going on. You go down to AAA. I'm not even worried about it. Jeez. All right. You know what? I'm just going to keep you guys here with me because you guys are actually keeping my players from getting hurt. So, yeah, pretty happy about this. And we are almost done. It looks like we got our monthly save, so hopefully we got a little bit of Javier Ruiz looks good. Ian Lowry, Nick Green looks great. Damian Demir looks good. Overall rating improves. Oh my gosh. This guy might have to come up right now. He might have to come up right freaking now. Cole Young, no. Van de Veen is improving too. That's huge. Daniel Rodriguez, potential gap drops. Contact improves. So he's not going to hit anything in the gap. It's going to be homers or nothing. I don't care about that. Chris Ingressa, contact improves. That's fine. Okay, so something I want to do real quick is everyone on the spring training roster is getting scouted to be up to date. Yep, and then I'll see you guys here in a minute. We are back, and oh my gosh, I am so happy right now. I am looking at something very particular, but we have a couple players promoted. Who cares? Should be playing better than 500 ball. We're going to go to the playoffs. Successful. Antonio Venegas. Successful. Huge. Look at this. Number 2 prospect in baseball. Absolutely love it. Keatak Park. Huge. Keatak Park is now going to be our center fielder. Like, that's exactly what's going to happen. So let's go look at our lineups. Keatak Park is going to slot into center field. Julio Rodriguez is going to slot into left. And let's go ahead and adjust those. Set position to center field. And Julio Rodriguez set position to left field. Julio definitely regresses, but I don't care. Cal Riley is not in the lineup at any point in time. He's going to hit. He's going to be a DH off the bench. He's going to do a job for us, but he is a backup catcher, so to speak. Octavio Rivas, I just could not send him down because he did well during spring training, and he's the true defensive heir apparent. And John Garden's up too. So we have 4 catchers on the lineup. John Garden is going to play a little bit of left field because he can, and he's a lefty masher, so he's going to catch exclusively versus left-handed pitchers. In fact, let's go ahead and generate this depth chart. We have it to where, hey, Carson Benji as well is going to play a lot as well. So we got ourselves a nice little group here to go ahead and take care of the year. In fact, let's go ahead and talk about it. Overall, Cole Young is going to be our leadoff batter. Jackson Churio is going to bat second and play right field for us. Antonio Venegas is going to bat third, catch for us. I do want to put him as DH, but versus right-handed pitching, he just kind of has to catch. John Garden is there, but I think it's going to be Cal Riley, who's just going to be a glorified bench piece. Just because, oh gosh, what the heck is going on? Let's just regenerate those depth charts. Cal Riley is going to be a glorified bench piece and a mentor to all these guys. He's a leader. He's loyal. Let's just hope that he does a good job as that, because he's not going to do much of anything else. Cameron Decker is going to play first base for us, and he's going to be our 4-hole. Julio Rodriguez is going to play left field and bat right-handed, play left field for us. Carson Benji is going to be our DH versus right-handed batters. And he's a guy who potentially is going to go ahead and play left field over Julio Rodriguez eventually. But Julio Rodriguez has 60 range to Carson Benji's 60 range. So I'm going to have Julio out there every single day. And Julio, again, is going to be a Mariner for life. Keatak Park playing center field just had a dev increase. So successfully completed training to improve his outfield defense. So boom, there's that. Jackson Churio, or no, Marcelo Meyer playing shortstop, batting 8th, and Cooper Pratt batting 9th. And the fact that he's batting 9th is insane. That just tells me my lineup this year is so much better. And then the only change is Jackson Churio bats 4th, Julio Rodriguez bats 2nd, Cameron Decker slots significantly lower. But I could see the argument of throwing I don't know, someone else at first base for righty gaze. I don't know. Pitching wise, this is what we ended up with. So we're on a 5-man rotation. Damian DeMauro is our number 1. Matt Scott's our number 2. Spencer Schwellenbach pitched great in spring training, so he's our number 3. Corbin Burns makes the roster. He's our number 4. And Javier Ruiz, he makes our number 5. And we have signed him to a contract extension that maxes out at $12 million when he turns 32. We have him signed for over the next decade. So boom goes the dynamite. In the bullpen, we have 2 other starting pitchers who potentially will be starting pitchers, but need to see a little bit of improvement. We have Jared Herzog and Cole Bills as our swingmen in the bullpen. I think Cole Bills is going to be the equivalent of what Jesus Luzardo was for us. And if he's anything more than that, his scouting suggests that he could potentially be a number two starter, but I'll believe it when I see it. Josh Hader, full-time lefty specialist. Ian Lowry is a setup man. Jeremiah Estrada is also a setup man. Jose Feliz is going to be a middle reliever in our bullpen because, I mean, he did a great job in the middle of the bullpen, and I think he can also slot into his starter role. Then Fran O'Shell, again, has done phenomenal for us, so he's going to be in the middle of the bullpen, with Nick Green and Nestor Cafe slotting in as our de facto closers. Nestor Cafe is going to be a pure traditional closer, where Nick Green is going to be a stopper / starting pitcher. And again, he's started to get into his contract where he is going to make some money, but we're hoping to get 130 solid innings out of him at the back end of our rotation. Notable people who are ready to be called up at a moment's notice. We do have Mark Markham, Jose Bonilla, who just was overmatched. Needs a lot more time down there. Bubba Calandra, Pete Henning also needs a lot more time down here. Yainer DeJesus, just for $1 million, needs a little bit more time. Blake Gillespie is a guy who's going to come up as well. Alton Davis, borderline available as well, just needs a little bit more time. Brady Murrieta, Josh Bell. Yeah, we have a lot of depth this year at a major league level. So much so that we already have a couple of players that it's like, oh crap, we got to kind of throw them down here. Like Joel Lamas is there. Cesar Montemayor, who pitched in AAA last year, is down starting here. Matt Millirons and Joe Farthing are up in AA to start this year. But Robin Van de Ven is a guy who had a awesome improvement and looks like he is going to be up in AAA, maybe even up in Major League Baseball this year. Same as Lee Wilkerson. Hopefully he's up in AAA towards the end of the year as well. Daniel Rodriguez, Mr. Lomo, is starting off in high A this year. I want to see if we can get him all the way up. But somehow, Framer Valdez and Camilo Duvall did not make the roster. Somehow, we have 2 out of the top 10 prospects. Like, that is insane. Prospect pipeline. Oh, that's not what I want to look at. I want to look at top prospects. That's what I want to look at. So we have Antonio Venegas. We have Daniel Rodriguez there as well. And then we also have Roberto Caraballo. He's going to be back in 1 week. We're going to try and get him up to speed. He's going to be a September call-up for us. So let's see if we have any more other guys. And we have Jose Bonilla, who, yes, he's set up as a first baseman, but if we can get him trained up as a third baseman, that'd be great. I don't think he can play the outfield. No, he can't. So those are our 4 batters. Any pitchers that we have, yes, Javier Ruiz, who's starting for us and is signed all the way through the next decade. We are more than happy with where we're at. And I just remembered we didn't go over here. So, yeah. So, improved catcher program by Antonio Venegas. Keatok Park improvement successful. Jose Bonilla, no improvement. No improvement by John Garden. Daniel Rodriguez, base running improvement. Yes, so we should see some base running ability go up there. We need to see if we can get his speed up as well. No improvement. Chris, leg improvement to somewhat durable, dang. And then outstanding, just 5s across the board. Absolutely huge for us. But let's go ahead and take a look at what I really care about. Preseason predictions, 83 and 79, not as dominant as I wanted to be. Home runs are up over last year. Stolen bases are still high. A lot of walks, but a lot of strikeouts. Decent ERA, but not as good as the Rays or the Orioles. So looking at it, we have Javier Ruiz as one of our top pitchers here. So that's awesome. Looking at it as well, Antonio Venegas making the top cut. Gonna bat .295 this year, 1 stolen base, 20 home runs, and 77 RBIs. Absolutely awesome. If this comes to fruition, we are going to have to train him up at a position not known as catcher, because he is going to have to play first base for us just to keep his bat in the lineup every single day. That's how great that bat is. Looking at other players elsewhere, I don't see Paul Skeens. I do not see Paul Skeens, which to me is a fat dub. Luke Pettit looks good. Yeah, no. Okay. I'm very happy with this. Yeah, very happy with this. Looking at it as well, Dave Guerrero, Robert Callis, Jordan Walker, Guillermo Williamson, Terry Burden. Yeah, not a lot of players. Wyatt Langford got traded to Arizona. Arizona is going to be a bad offensive team, so it's going to be the Rockies. Pittsburgh Pirates look to dethrone the Cincinnati Reds, which is awesome. Looks like Pittsburgh's going to do it through pitching, so that's great. And Cincinnati looks like all of their batters have kind of turned a leaf. Oh, goodness. This is our year to win a World Series, boys. So whatever position is struggling, we are going to upgrade. We are going to be buyers. We are going to go for it all this year. Oh, Lord, help us. I'll see you guys next time. Take care, and thanks for watching.